and I work for Repro Products in Smyrna, Georgia. I am an Autodesk certified instructor and hold many certifications in multiple Autodesk products for the AEC industry. I hope you enjoy my screencast. If you'd like to see more of my screencasts, please search for VAR 2015, that's VAR 2015, or my name. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up after you watch it. In today's screencast, we'll be looking at the wall command in Revit. Here I am in Revit in a default architectural project. In the Architecture tab of the ribbon in the Build panel, we have the wall command. If you hit the little black arrow next to wall, you'll see that there's a sub-panel that opens up, and it gives me access to either architectural walls, structural walls, or wall by face. And once the walls are created, we have access to the sweep and the review. The difference between a structural wall versus an architectural is a structural wall has the structural content already built into it, such as rebar and the load capability. So if I want to create an architectural wall, I just start the command. You'll notice that you will have a green contextual tab called Modify Place Wall, and you have the contextual draw panel that allows you to draw via line, rectangle, polygon, circles, so on and so forth. You also have the options toolbar that gives you the options for the type of wall that you're working with. For example, the height, maybe it's connected to another level that's above. The location line of the wall. The location line of the wall is also very important because that's the part of the wall that physically will hold its position should the wall change from one type to another. You have chain, and that's turned on by default, and what that allows you to do is as you draw one wall and you finish that wall, it allows you to draw a second wall linked to the first wall, so it's kind of a chain-like fashion. You also have offset capability and radius capability. In the properties palette, in the type selector, you want to go ahead and select the type of wall you want to work with. So let's say, for example, generic 4-inch brick. You have instance property information here that defines this wall that you're about to create. For example, the base constraint and the top constraint, meaning the bottom of the wall and the top of the wall. You also have the ability to change the offset of those constraints as well, and I'll show you in a second. When you're ready to draw, you just left click once, drag your mouse. You can also just type in the length of the wall that you want, for example 15, and hit enter, and this will build you a wall that's 15 feet long. If I look at this in elevation, you can see that you have a wall that is at level 1 going up to level 2. If I had the ability, if I wanted to change the height of level 2 to say 15 feet, the wall will adapt and grow with this level 2 because we specified that this wall has a top constraint of going up to level 2. So whatever this value is, that wall will shrink or lengthen to fit that situation. Over in the instance property, you also have the ability to change things like, say, the base offset and maybe the top offset. For example, you may want it to go down 2 feet lower for maybe foundation aspects, or you also may need to have it go up higher for maybe a parapet situation. Once you have that defined, as you're working with the software and you make changes to, say, the level height, that offset height will also hold as well. If I go back to the floor plan and take a look at this wall, I can select it and I can use the type selector to change it from one type to another very quickly and very easily. If I need to, I also have the ability to select the wall and edit its profile in elevation. For example, maybe I need to specify some openings in the wall, and it will build the openings for me. You also have the ability to attach or detach the top or bottom excuse me, of the wall to another object such as a floor slab or a roof. I'm sorry, we will cover this aspect later. And so very quickly, in a nutshell, that's the basic wall command, architectural. When we look at structural wall, the essence is exactly the same. The only difference is the structural wall has content. For example, if I look at it, there is a structural aspect, and that is checked by default, and the analytical model is also checked by default, and it has structural usage such as bearing or some other shear, and then it has rebar content as well. So in regards to drawing an architectural or structural wall, they're identical. Wall by face is actually used to create a wall on the face of a mass object. Well, we'll cover this in another screencast. And that's it. That's the basic wall command. Thank you for watching my screencast. And again, don't forget to give me a thumbs up after you finish watching.